Hello everyone, it's Jess, and I'm back today with another speed build. We're back in Haven's Hollow for a big build, very big. I somehow got it down to only like an hour in like the speed up speed build version, but it's a big build. It's a country club, which originally I hadn't planned for this build to be a country club. I planned for it to be, I think, a library and a post office. You can see up there, I kept the name as post office and more. No, the plan was for this to be a library and a post office. But once I got onto the lot and I saw this stuff kind of surrounding it, it didn't make much sense to me for it to be, the post office and library, simply because, like, the vibes I wanted to go for the library would not fit on this lot. Like, this lot is very much like a country club lot. Like, the stuff surrounding it, that's what it is. Speaking of the stuff surrounding it, I am planning to do a bit of tool mod stuff. I can't do it right now because my tool mod isn't broken, but my better build by is broken, which means I can't use better build by to use tool within build mode, and I hate using tool in live mode. I simply refuse to use it. I mean, I used it today for this build. It was only like one little part of the build. I could not stand doing more than that. But I'm planning to use tool to make that area of the wedding arch, which is off to like the back right of the lot. It already has a wedding arch, but it's just like a wedding arch and there's nothing else there, so I kind of want to make it more wedding-esque, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I just think it's kind of weird how The Sims has a bunch of, like, not a bunch, but like, Windenburg and other places where there's wedding arches, like, off-lot. They never have stuff around them. It's kind of just there. And they're usually really pretty places. So I don't know why they don't, like, utilize more off-lot things. But anyways, let's focus on the build today. This build took me forever. Like, I didn't film me picking out the wallpaper and floorings and doing the floor plan and putting like lights in and stuff. I didn't film that. But if I had, that would have been like an extra hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. It took me forever to figure out the floor plan for this build. Like, it's massive, also not big enough somehow. So it's like I had to fill up a bunch of space, but I didn't know how to fill up that space. It was kind of stressful, but I had a fun time. I think this is one of my favorite builds I've ever made, to be honest. I based it off of a picture I found online. I don't remember what country club it was, but I just looked up on Google country club and it was one of the first ones to show up. And I thought it was so pretty with like pure white and like all the white windows, and the shape of it was so pretty. So I channeled that place to make this build. And I think it turned out really, really pretty. It's almost completely symmetrical. The back is a little different than the front. Whoa. But it's pretty much symmetrical, and it was really fun to build. You won't see it now, but basically we had the building, and then outside I put tennis courts, just 2 of them because there's not much space back there. But you know what? When I think of country club, I think of like golf and tennis, and I don't know what else. I've never been to a country club. My experience with country clubs is pretty much limited to Gilmore Girls and The Summer I Turned Pretty. So if you can see inspirations from those 2 shows specifically, that's why. I feel like there's a lot inspired by both Gilmore Girls and The Summer I Turned Pretty. There's definitely areas where I imagine like debutante balls, those, if you've seen either of those shows, or if you just know debutante balls in general. And I don't know, I think this is a really fun build. It's not as lore heavy for the save file as other builds, simply because I don't think Corine's family you know, has access to this country club. Maybe, this might be your first video watching your first video. What am I saying? This might be your first time watching this save file, one of these speed builds. Let me explain it a bit. This is the Havens Hallow save file, which is kind of a mystery save file. So I know you're not kind of, it 100% is. There's a mystery that you solve within Brindleton Bay, which I've termed Havens Hallow, of this missing girl, Corine Sanford. So that's the general idea. So to give you some context in case you're new and haven't watched the other speed builds, and if you haven't, go check those out because I talk more about like the save file and what it is and fun stuff like that. The roofing here, you'll see I struggle. As always, roofing's always kind of a pain. But for this one specifically, it was really difficult to get this like front roofing here figured out. You'll see me struggle with it for a long time. But once I do finally figure it out, it's easy from there because the build's symmetrical, so it's easy to get done beyond that. But anyways, I didn't plan out what I was going to say today. Usually before I go into a voiceover, I'll like write some notes about things I want to go into, but I'm lazy and I spent like 6-7 hours building this thing over the last 2 days, and I don't have the energy to like write notes about what to talk about, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. So if it's very obvious that I'm flying by the seat of my pants, I'm sorry. But yeah, this build was super fun to make. I think it's honestly one of the builds I'm most proud of. I think it looks the best out of any of the ones I've done for the save file, for sure. Because like the rest of the ones I've done this for the save file are fine. They're good. They get the job done. But this is like one of the first ones where I'm like, okay, this gets the job done for the idea I wanted to go for, and it's also good looking. But yeah, as I said, Corine Sanford, missing person. I don't imagine her family has access to the country club. I think it's more of two other families, which are Corine's ex-boyfriend and Corine's like academic rival, I guess, who are both like very rich. So they have access to this country club where I think like Corine and Corine's friend and some of the other like teenagers and like not teenagers, like families in town probably don't have access. I find this place probably very exclusive. There's like yachts off to the side. I imagine if you can afford a yacht, you can probably afford a membership to this country club. Yet again, I don't know how country clubs work. I don't know how memberships work. I don't know if it's like super, super expensive or if that's kind of a lie. I've never been to one. I've never known anyone who's been to one. I mean, maybe I have, but I've never had anyone talk to me about it. So, yeah, this is based off of completely just media I've consumed and pictures I saw. I wanted to really badly add a sauna to this build, but it did not work out. I tried and I tried and I tried this all, thankfully not on camera because that would have been annoying. I tried this all when I took a break from recording and did like the floor plan and stuff. I really wanted to add a sauna because one of the things I know about country clubs that I've seen in like media with like Modern Family and Gilmore Girls, and I'm sure some other TV shows I've watched, is that country clubs have saunas. And I so badly wanted to add that, but I just like either made this build too small, despite it being massive, by the way, or like just, I didn't want to sacrifice the aesthetic of the outside for the practicality of the inside. Because I could have easily added a sauna if I deleted windows on the outside of the build. I could have done that. But I really, really like the outside, and I think the outside looks so cool. So I simply did not want to compromise the aesthetic of the outside instead of adding saunas in. So sadly, no saunas, but I do end up adding, let's see, I had a bunch of like sitting areas. Like you can sit everywhere here. You don't like standing up, this is the place for you. But I had like sitting areas. I had like not really a ballroom, but you know, like in Gilmore Girls or the OC where they do debutante stuff or just like go to the club, there's like a stage and there's like staircases on either side of it. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to go for like the area where you have like debutantes like coming out to society, or what else would be there? Just like talks. I'm not sure. As I said, I have no idea what goes on in a country club. That's not my scene. I'm broke. I cannot afford to go to a country club. But yeah, I added that kind of room, and then I added a room for like the debutantes to get ready. And you know, that one's kind of the more cutesy room. It definitely stands out a bit from the rest, but I personally like it. I also added a gym and a spa because whenever I watch media with country clubs, usually they either, 1, are in the sauna, 2, are in the pool, there's no pool on this lot, or 3, are working out or like getting a massage or something. Like, that seems like country club stuff to me. I don't know, maybe I'm completely off base. And then I also add a bar and a little cafe area. I add an area to eat on the balcony, the second floor balcony, which wraps all the way around. I've never had a house. I guess it's technically not a house. I've never had a build with quite this much balcony space. It was difficult to figure out what to do with it because there is so much space, but it's also pretty narrow. So it's kind of hard to fit a bunch of stuff. And there's like a bunch of columns that are like blocking the way. But as I said, I wanted to prioritize the aesthetic of the outside over the function because, you know, there's not much function to this. I mean, there's plenty of function to this build, but not in the way that, you know, I'd want it as a quote-unquote country club. I made the slot into a lounge, I believe. Yeah, I made it into a lounge. So it has all the requirements for a lounge, and sort of has requirements for other things. But I just wanted it to look really nice. I think it looks really nice. This is, I think, the most beautiful build in Havens Hallow so far. But yeah, I had fun building this, but also some stress building this, which isn't every build ever. I took a week off from the last time I built for this save file, so it's been 2 weeks since I built anything or even thought about this because my game completely broken. Is anyone else having problems with Better Build By? Because my tool mod works fine, and Better Build By says it's been updated, but it doesn't work for me. Like, the UI is completely, broken. It doesn't even work to make tool work, usable in build mode. So I just, don't know what to do about it. You know? It's just, I don't know if other people are having these problems. I should probably look it up. But, on the Patreon page where you download, no one's complained, really, about Better Build By being broken. So maybe it's conflicting with another mod I have, but all my other mods are updated, and the only ones I put in my game at the same time as Better Build By are just utility mods like XML Injector and other ones, I'm sure, like Toolbox and other things. So yeah, I'm not really sure why Better Build By is having so many problems. I wish it wasn't, because it's one of my favorite building mods. I mean, it's the only one I really use besides Tool. So it's the only building mod I use. But it was kind of annoying to make this build without Better Build By. I'm also having something weird happen. I don't know if it's just because I had Better Build By installed, or if something else is going on with my game or if this is a recent update, but in my build mode, I will not enable debug, yet I'll see debug items. So if anyone knows why that's happening, I mean, it's not a big problem because I do like using debug objects, obviously, but it's kind of annoying to scroll through a bunch of debug items to get to the like regular items that I want. But I don't know how to disable them from appearing because they're just there automatically. I don't like put into the cheat bar bb.show hidden objects or show live edit objects. They're just immediately there. And even if I like search debug in the search bar, nothing comes up. So it's like they're in the game, but it's not enabled, so they're not. I don't know if it's just this lot and this build or if it's the save, because I haven't really built outside the save. I haven't built outside of this lot since I started getting those issues. So who knows? Who knows what's going on? But yeah, this country club, super fun. And sorry, it was like glitching on my screen for a second. It's like this strange, like big but not big lot. Because it's like really long but narrow. But there's also like so much space, but a lot of that space is balcony space, which is hard to furnish, specifically for me. I'm pretty terrible at furnishing like outside spaces, outdoor spaces in The Sims. I think I'm halfway decent at furnishing indoor spaces, as long as they're, typical indoor spaces. I'm not sure if I'm too good at furnishing community lots, but is anyone? I mean, there are a lot of people that are really good at it. So, yeah, this lot is just like so much fun. There's not too much functionality, especially in the case file, because, it will have, the typical clues, and it will have the diary entry that's going to be on every lot. So there are things, like there's reasons to come to this lot, just maybe not as much as other lots. So if, like, maybe you suspect her academic rival or her ex-boyfriend, they frequent this establishment, I guess that's what I'm calling it. So maybe I can work with that, have the clues be regarding the richer families that might be suspects in the case. So I can do that. I'm still in the very early stages of the case file. I haven't done much work since my last video because I've been sick. I've had family issues. My mom just got a biopsy, so it's been a stressful time. And building and, creating a mystery storyline have not been my top priorities. And then the whole, game breaking on top of it all. I've been going through a lot. I also, this is embarrassing, but I told a guy friend that I just wanted to be friends, and now he's not speaking to me. So that's so much fun. I love guys. Guys are great. And yeah, that's been my life for the last week. So stressful, not enough time to truly build anything or even do Let's Plays. It's just been so much. And I'm still sick. I don't know if you can hear. I think my voice sounds a lot better than it did last week or even the week before when I was sick doing some of the speed builds. I'm just sick all the time. At this point, it's honestly getting a little frustrating just because I always have a cold and I don't have COVID. I've checked and I don't, so I don't know what's going on with my immune system. I don't know what to do, but yeah, that's why I've been gone for a week. And I'm hopefully going to get back into the groove of things this week and continue on with 3 videos a week. You know, I'm like slowly learning how much work this is to do 3 videos a week, especially with one of them being a speed build, because I am not a fast builder. I take my time and I'm not great at building, so I also like redo stuff again and again and again. So doing 3 videos a week with one of them as a speed build just takes up so much time, and it makes you really appreciate people who put out videos every single day. Like, I currently have no job. Like, I'm waiting to hear back on like visa stuff. So I currently don't have a job. So I have all the time in the world to, you know, make videos, and I still struggle with 3 times a week. Like, that's ridiculous. Maybe I'm just lazy. I mean, that's true. But maybe I'm just more lazy than usual. I mean, being sick isn't really an excuse. I went to class sick and got good grades sick, so that's not an excuse for why I'm finding this so difficult. But yes, I have a newfound appreciation for people who make a lot of videos and put a lot of time into stuff, especially if they have full-time jobs outside of YouTube. Like, people who do so much content and then have another full-time job outside of YouTube. Crazy. That's gonna be me, though. Hopefully. Hopefully come February, that will be me. Full-time job plus YouTube. We'll see. I'm still waiting to hear back, but I have hope. I have hope that visa stuff will go through and I will have a job, because I'm so sick of sitting home and doing nothing. I'm sick of being unemployed. I know I should appreciate it while I have it, but you know, this is the first time I've really had a break for, 6 years? Yeah, 6 years. First time I've had a break. First time I've had a summer, and now it's not even summer anymore, and yet I'm still having summer because I have no job, which it's fine. Anyways, as you can see, now that we're in the back, maybe you can peep the tennis courts. I think I'm putting chairs in them right now. These tennis courts I created with just, I think, a get-to-work fence around the outside, and then debug objects. If you want to know a little more about how to create them, you can just look up on YouTube, like, Sims 4 tennis court, and one of the first reels that pops up is a base game only tennis court. I kind of followed that, obviously made it my own, because different shape, different, you know, vibe. But yeah, this is where I used the tool mod in live mode. I hate tool in live mode. I don't know why anyone would use tool mod in live mode and not download Better Build By, because it's just annoying. Do I not have a column there? I think I might be missing a column. Am I? That'd be, I think I am. Did it get deleted? That's a little embarrassing. I have to go back in and fix that, because having that little planter in the corner is not the vibe, and it is not what I intended for this build. I'll have to go back and look at that. Anyways, yes, the tennis courts, you can find them, like what was I trying to say? A reel for like a tutorial on how to make them. It was fun, even though they're not functional. You know, they're cool, and maybe if you have like that mod that allows you to like have actual tennis courts, you can like place them there and then have your Sims play tennis. I should download that mod, because I actually do really like tennis. I play tennis, which I think it's funny that it's like a rich person sport, because I haven't spent money on tennis since ever. I spent like $10 on balls, and I've used the same racket my dad has had since before I was born. So, yeah, not expensive. The court is free to go to, so I think it's funny that it's like a rich person sport. A rich white person sport, tennis is. It is a fun sport, though, and it's better than pickleball. I am a pickleball hater. I hate pickleball. If you don't know what pickleball is, it's like if tennis and ping pong had a baby. and it's so terrible. Like, you don't even have to move. You just kind of hit the paddle back and forth. And the worst part of it is pickleball courts are now taking over tennis courts. They convert tennis courts to pickleball courts. So there used to be 2 tennis courts that I could go to, but now there's only 1, which means if anyone else in the area wants to play tennis, it's like there's only 1 space to play tennis, which is annoying. I hate pickleball. Anyways, we're moving on to the balconies. I struggled so much with making this like food station area. I used the one from Discover University because the high school years one just looked kind of not as professional as the university one. But I didn't want to put like a full kitchen or like any restaurant stuff in because I wanted this to just be very simple. Order food, go take it, end of it. I did add a barbecue, so you can barbecue if you want. I don't know why, but if you want to barbecue, the option is available. I think this is a fun lot to play on. I think some of the other ones that I created, like the police station, is pretty unique to this save file. But a build like this, you could put in any save file and just like come to with your like rich sims and have, you know, that storyline. I should try that. I don't have very many rich sims that I would imagine would go to a country club at the moment in my own gameplay, or even with, you know, my Let's Plays. Maybe Crybaby ones, but they don't have too much money. Anyways, I'm getting off track. I added the food station and then a bunch of like seating areas for people to sit. So, as I said, you like sitting, this is the lot for you. There is 1,012 chairs on this lot. Almost too many. You might be overwhelmed with how much choice you have in place to sit. But I didn't know what else to kind of do with this balcony space. I mean, you can maybe do like a bar area, but I have a bar upstairs. And yeah, like sitting areas, but that's all I could really think of. There's not much that goes out on a balcony, is there? Like, even the food station is kind of unrealistic because, you know, this is New England. It rains, it snows. Having that food station out, not only on the deck, but half of it is in a place that's completely uncovered by, you know, roofing. So it's just kind of impractical. But this is The Sims. And we don't have to be practical if we do not wish to be practical. That is the best part about The Sims. You can have a clear door into the bathroom, and they do not care. As long as there's a door, they think they have privacy. So, yeah, struggled a bit with the furnishing of even just this entire place. I mean, there's a very specific vibe that this place has, obviously. And sticking to it, like, the restriction helped, but also was kind of annoying. This place is very, very white. Like, everything's white. It's, like, so bright. Just, like, right in your face, bright. But, you know, I had fun. I think the vibes are definitely there, and they're what they should be for a country club. From my zero experience and my brief pop culture references to country clubs. Speaking of country clubs and pop culture references, one of the things I said is that when I think country club, I think golf. Now, obviously, this lot is small, and we don't have golf in the game. So that's why I added tennis courts. But, and I say a but here, I'm not sure if I can do it, but the plan is across from this lot, the last lot in, I think this is Whiskerman's Wharf, the last lot in Whiskerman's Wharf for the save file, I am planning to do a park. I mean, I thought since it's right across from the country club, maybe we do like normal park, but also golf. Because I might be wrong, but I think Newcrest has like debug objects for a golf course, because there's a golf course in like the world of Newcrest. Yet again, might be completely wrong about this, but if I'm not, I'd like to add that because it just has the correct vibes that I want to achieve with this section. You know, the other half of Whiskerman's Wharf is more industrial, more like community based. And then, what am I trying to say? And then my brain just left me. This half of Whiskerman's Wharf is more, upscale. So that's what I want to achieve. I can't believe I'm already almost done with Whiskerman's Wharf. The amount of times I said Whiskerman's Wharf, ridiculous, but I never build this much, and having, to make build videos kind of pushes me to build more often. If I was doing this on my own time, I would build like once a month, maybe even less than that, and focus a bit more on the case file, which I do need to do because I have not done nearly enough work, and I'm already almost done with 1/4 of the neighborhoods in the save file. So that's a little scary. But, I still have a bunch of stuff to do besides the building. I have all the clues to put in and all the sims to make and all that stuff besides, the case file. A bunch of stuff to still do in-game. So, this is nowhere near done. And neither is the case file. But I need to start writing the stuff for the case file. As far as this lot goes, as I said, the only stuff that will really exist, that's a weird term to use for it, but the only case file things of interest are clues, because every lot has clues available to search, at least in 1 to 3 rooms, I think. It's been a while since I myself looked at the case file. I should have looked at it before this voiceover, but as I said, I didn't even prepare notes on what to talk about. So I'm obviously not very professional today. But now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Something about the case file. Clues. There you go. And not interrogations. What am I thinking of? Diary entry. Every lot has a diary entry. So maybe I should talk about that a bit, since I'm kind of at a loss for what else to say right now before getting into the actual furnishing of the country club. Diary entries are diary entries from Corine Sanford, the missing person, which have been scattered around town, and there's one on every single lot. So I think that makes 16. If I remember how many lots are in Brindleton Bay, I think it makes 16. So each diary entry says something different. They're very personal. The diary entries aren't always going to reveal information about the case. Sometimes it's just her talking about her day, and it's not very interesting. But each diary entry has a corresponding lot to it. And once you find that diary entry, you can read that diary entry in the case file. For the most part, the diary entries are, they do reveal some things, but it's more like a collection to be had. And some diary entries reveal stuff while others don't. And even though you don't have to complete every single diary entry to solve the case, I think it's kind of helpful to have all of them, because they unlock stuff like interviews and interrogations and warrants to search for clues and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff that diary entries are good for. Now, as far as diary entries go, I have not written any yet, but I do have the basic ideas for each of the diary entries planned. I need to figure out which diary entry will go on which lot, because I want diary entries with more revealing information, to be harder to find, but I also want the diary entries to kind of correspond with the lot they're on, if that's at all possible. And one of the mysteries of the save file, not the main mystery, you can solve the main mystery without figuring this out. But one of the main mysteries of the save file is, why is Corine Sanford's diary ripped up and scattered across town? You know, that's not just like a case file mechanic to get you to find her diary entries. That's like an actual part of the mystery. Like, she literally has had her diaries like ripped up and thrown across town. Maybe even hidden purposefully by her or by someone else. So that's one of the mystery mechanics of the diary entries that's kind of separate from the mystery. I won't say it's completely separate because it might be connected. And that is half of me just being facetious. And is that the correct term? I don't know. That's me halfway being kind of like mysterious. Look at this. It might be part of the main case, it might not be. That's also just me not having completely finished the case file. I mean, completely finished. I've started the case file. I haven't done any of the written out diary entries or clues or interrogations or interviews, any of that stuff. It's just like the general idea I have. I have the endings planned. So I know where I need to get, which I think is important. I think within any writing, you should know where you're going. I do that with any book I write, even if I don't know the stuff that happens in between. I know how it starts, I know how it ends, so I know where I start and where I get to by the end of it all. So I am kind of approaching this case file as if it was a mystery novel. I mean, obviously not completely because it's interactive, but you know, that's my experience. I write mystery novels, so that's like the closest thing I have to knowing how to approach this. I've never done anything quite like this. I've made save files for myself, but they don't have any lore. I mean, they have some lore, but just like family drama and relationships between different people, blah blah blah. But I've never done something quite like this, and I think it's a lot of fun, and it makes building more fun for me when I have an idea of what I'm creating and what I'm creating for. Otherwise, I just make like the same family home again and again and again because that's what I use in game. So this is a little more interesting, thankfully. You can see me here now doing a sitting room. Who would have thought? More areas to sit. In case you thought there wasn't enough areas to sit outside, there's 2 sitting rooms here on either side where the entrances are. So, you know, there's the entrance desk, the like computer where you can, the person behind the desk will check you in, and then there's sitting rooms. So this is pretty much mirrored on both sides, with like the only differences really being the decor. So the paintings and whatever is on top of the mantle or the fireplace. Other than that, like the plants, the seating, everything is the same on either side. The bathrooms, however, are different on either side. On one side, they're just like your normal typical bathrooms, and there's 2 stalls. And then on the other side, there's showers, because, you know, there's tennis, there's a spa, there's a gym. Like, you can't have that on the lot without a shower, I think. And there wasn't enough room to put the shower by the gym or the spa. Though I think there is a small bathroom upstairs with the spa that has a shower in it as well. But the point is, there are areas to shower on this lot. If you come here and you work out and you get a little stinky, there is space for that. You can see me right now. I'm putting in lockers. This completely changes. At first I thought I would make this a locker room. And I was like, it's ugly, and I don't like that, so I'm just going to mirror what I did on the other side. But I do end up putting lockers, I think you can see, in the bathrooms on that side. So, you know, those are more like the gym bathrooms rather than the formal bathrooms. And you can see me here copy pasting all of the items from that side to the other side. I think it only makes sense when there's 2 entrances for the entrances to be like the same or similar. And there wasn't much else I could do down here. You know, as I said, I thought about doing, you know, the gym or putting in the locker room. But having that by the entrance just did not make any sense to me. So I was like, okay, you know what? More sitting rooms. There cannot be enough sitting rooms in a fancy place, right? I've been to the palaces before. There's so many sitting rooms. There's a sitting room for every occasion, practically. So yes, I just added sitting rooms. And now I'm adding flags to the back and going back to the sitting rooms. But the furnishing for this, as you can see, very white, very fancy, very expensive looking. This place, I think it ends up being almost 400k in simoleons, but it's like, let's be honest, so much more expensive than that in real life. Like, this place would be so much more, it'd be like millions and millions of dollars, like with all the artwork and all the expensive furniture and just everything would end up being so expensive in this game. Not in this game, but like in real life. That's what I was trying to say. So, yeah, I think the furnishing ends up okay. The artwork is a little, I don't know if it fits quite perfectly, but we don't have much options when it comes to wall art in this game. One of my least favorite things is how we just don't have a lot of wall art. And second, we don't have a lot of fancy wall art. Like, if you go through the game, maybe I just don't have the packs that have the fancy wall art, but I have quite a few of the packs, especially the packs that come with wall art. And there's just not many options. I end up using like the same pictures again and again because there's not much to choose from. I freaking put Vladdy Daddy in this room. Like, Vlad should not be in this country club in this like fictional New England town, but he's here. And so are a bunch of other vampires, because vampires is one of the only packs where we get a lot of fancy wall art. And now I'm just like complaining about wall art for ever and ever and ever, which I'm sure is interesting. But no, I need more wall art. And that's the good thing about CC, but I don't want to use CC for the save file because I want it to be, you know, a save file. You don't have to download stuff to do it. I have been thinking, you know, like, what am I trying to say? The Silent Pines save file, there we go, which is a big inspiration for this save file. Has one version without CC, another with CC that adds, you know, missing person flyers and stuff like that. Like, I obviously would do it similar to that, not adding a bunch of, you know, like custom content, like items to make it so that you have to like download a million things in order to play the custom content save file. Now I'm thinking more of like custom content I make, like a missing persons flyer that I can hang around, maybe, you know, instead of using in-game objects for like the diaries or the clues, I could make CC objects, though that is really ambitious and I already can't make CC in the first place. So asking myself to make CC objects that actually fit within the lore of the mystery save file, I might be a little too ambitious. So I won't make promises. But that is an idea I've had. I would at least like to do the missing person flyers. And, you know, like, even not, if I can't like do that, I can always just make the missing person flyer and put it in the case file. So there's always that. But I think it'd be fun to experiment with some CC objects. Obviously not anything ridiculous or crazy like a bunch of CC furniture or a CC painting, since I was complaining about the painting situation earlier. But that is an idea I've had. Let me know if you think that's good. I don't know if console players can console players get save files? I don't think you can. That's a little disappointing. I feel bad for console players. Like, maybe it runs well on console. I mean, obviously it would run better than what I have because I'm on this. I mean, it's a good laptop, but it's certainly not, how do I say it? It's not built to run as much custom content as I run in my game. It's also not built to run as many packs as I have. Like, I'm pretty sure this laptop would run the base game smoothly. Would even run, like, a bunch of expansion packs. Maybe not a bunch, but a few expansion packs smoothly. But asking it to do all the packs I have, plus all the custom content, is just asking it for far too much. Like, she's struggling. She's having her issues. I've noticed it more and more. For a while, she was really great when I first moved to this laptop, because I didn't have nearly as much custom content, and I didn't have nearly as much like expansion packs and game packs and stuff like that. So there's less stuff in my game, and this laptop could have run her beautifully. The Sims 4, gorgeous on this laptop back then. But now my game just struggles so much, and I'd love to get a gaming PC, but I can't. As I said, I'm trying to get visa stuff going on, and if that works out, I will literally be leaving the country. And, can't really bring a PC setup with me overseas. I mean, I could try. Probably wouldn't go phenomenally. I already had to pack all my clothes and books and supplies. Asking to bring a whole entire gaming PC setup is too much. I'm also broke. I say this as if I could afford a PC setup in the first place. I cannot. I'm unemployed. We've discussed this. Maybe someday I'll be able to afford a PC setup. But today is not that day. Today is the day where I build a country club without Better Built By working and have to go through the pain of tool mod in live mode. Is there maybe I'm just using tool mod in live mode wrong, but I couldn't make groups. To be fair, I didn't try very hard, and I just got pissed off. I got angered very easily by tool mod in live mode, which, I think that's fair. I don't know anyone who uses tool mod in live mode. Everyone I know, has Better Built By included with tool mod, so that they can use it in build mode. Because what's the point of using tool mod in live mode? I wish my Better Built By was working. I've complained about it enough already. Right now I'm working on that room I talked about with the stage, where I imagine the debutantes coming down the stairs and stepping onto stage and coming out to society. And now we're going upstairs immediately because I started talking about something, so now I have to move on from it. This floor, I believe, has the gym and the debutante room. So it makes sense because the debutantes, I think they're on the left side of the building, get ready in that room, and then they ascend the stairs while their family watches them. They come out to society with the guy on their arm, and this is based completely off of Gilmore Girls and The Summer I Turned Pretty. So if I'm completely wrong about what debutantes are and if they even exist, this is so far removed from my world. Country clubs and debutantes and, sitting rooms. I mean, not my world, not my unemployed world. But, yeah. I don't have too much left to say about this build. I mean, I think it turned out really, really pretty. Thankfully, I think The Sims, as far as the white color scheme goes, has good consistency. This is me trying to put a dance floor downstairs. I also tried to put a dance floor upstairs. I tried to get a dance floor to work on this lot, but I was already too far gone to make it work. So, it is what it is. There's no dance floor. No balls to be had. But, you know what? We don't need balls. It's called a debutante ball, but we don't need a dance. I mean, I think it would have been fun. I probably could have tried a little harder to put a dance floor in to have like that ball aesthetic. Though, can you do like slow dancing and stuff in The Sims without a dance floor? I mean, you have to, right? Because those come from different packs in the dance floor. Like High School Years and My Wedding Stories both have slow dance like dances, I think. I don't know. I have High School Years. I don't have My Wedding Stories. But I kind of want it. If you guys could recommend a pack to me, any pack that I don't already have. You don't know what packs I have, but I've been thinking My Wedding Stories just because I love the world. And I know that isn't like the best reason to choose the next packs. Like I should be focusing on getting For Rent. But I also don't like the world that much in that one. It's kind of more, I want that pack because of the game mechanics and the build mechanics than the world. But yeah, as I was saying, if you have recommendations about packs and which ones I should prioritize getting, I have most of the expansion packs up to High School Years, except for I don't have Eco Living. I don't remember which one it is. But anything after High School Years, I'm pretty sure I don't have. As far as expansion packs go, I don't have many game packs, and I don't have many stuff packs. I don't really see myself prioritizing those because they don't come with as much stuff. Though kits, I could see myself buying kits. Because, especially build kits, I would never buy a cast kit because I use custom content for cast. I almost never use in-game content in cast. So that seems like a waste of my money. But I can see myself getting a build kit, especially like the clutter ones, like the newer ones with like really great, content in them. I can see myself doing those. Now, as you can see, this is the debutante room with, like, I made makeshift vanities. I don't know if there's actual vanities in game. I think there might be one in, like, the Butler game pack. What is that one? Vintage Glamour. I think it's Vintage Glamour. But I do not have that pack, so I had to make my own makeshift vanities, which is fine because I think they turned out looking really, really cute. And I like the idea that you can push the desk away and then have a full-length mirror. I think girls who are doing like their debutante stuff would really appreciate that. So this room I think turned out really cute, and even though it's a little pink and girly compared to the rest of the build, I think it does still, like correlate and integrate into the aesthetic of this build quite well. And now I added like the Brindleton Bay map, which I think I'm going to add to the town hall also. I love that object. I wish we had more like cool objects like that are very, I guess, unique. Like that object is so unique and I love it. I love that you can just have like a 3D map that you can look at. I wish we had more stuff like that in this game. But I know why we don't, because yes, I would rather the Sims team prioritize giving us essentials in each pack, like kitchen counters and couches and beds. Yes, I would like that, but a few fun objects like that map I think would be so cool. And now you see me creating the bar. This, I'm not sure how to feel about this room, this bar. I mean, it's fine. I don't love it. I don't love it. I mean, it gets the job done. It fits with the aesthetic of the rest of the build. My main problem is, like, it's very bright for a bar. But maybe this is not like a late night bar. Like, there's a bar, literally, the first build I did for this series has a bar in it. So that one's more like your dive bar, college bar. This one is maybe more of your mimosa, Bloody Mary, early morning brunch bar. I can see that. That makes me like that room a little more, thinking of it that way. And now I have even more toilets, because it's always fun to have toilets. I probably should have cut out furnishing the toilets because it's not all that interesting. But I'm lazy and I did not want to have to watch this back and then edit stuff in and out. I just wanted to film it, upload it, put it to 400% speed, film my voiceover, upload that, and be done with it. Because I spent way too much time on this build already, especially since this one isn't lore heavy and doesn't add too much to the case file. I spent way too much time on it. But you know, it was fun. I had fun, so I can't complain. I shouldn't complain when I chose to make this instead of the library and post office, because the library does have a lot of case file importance, because articles and like online databases are accessed through the library, so that's a very important lot. I think the most important lot in Whiskerman's Wharf, this area, are the ones I've already done, because the park obviously isn't going to be one of the most important lots. Let's be honest, it's probably going to be even less important than the country club. But the most important lot is definitely the police station. That lot is going to be used so many times because that's like the first lot you go to in the case file to meet the sheriff. You have to go like again and again to receive warrants and to do interrogations. That's going to be a big part of the case file is interrogations, so the police station is going to be utilized quite a lot. But this build's just kind of like fluff, there to look good, round out the town, kind of explore the dynamics of this town, because we have very rich families in this area, like super rich, like unimaginably rich people, like maybe not even realistically rich. I mean, there's very many rich people in the world. I'm not saying that there's not. But no, this was just fun. It was a fun time making this build. And now I'm on to the spa room, which these rooms up here are so small and I had trouble fitting stuff in. This is where I wanted to have the sauna. You probably saw me try to fit it in. It just wasn't going to happen. My poor heart is broken that there's no sauna on this lot, because immediately when I think of, what am I trying to say, of country clubs, I think of that one episode where Richard takes Rory to the club and they go in the steam room. Anyways, that is pretty much the end of this speed build, the end of the country club. So if you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.